Now, I listened back to my stream yesterday, right? And obviously, not obviously, but I've got a lot of learning to do about pacing, providing a clear message to you guys, because that's what I want to do. I want to provide a clear message, and you know, hopefully, you guys come out with a better understanding of the current situation of things in regards to crypto, or the markets, even. Because to be honest, I'm not even sure I can call it crypto anymore. So yeah, the title of the show is like, about plumbing. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, don't worry, I'll be sure to get into it. Let me see, just make sure. Yep, OBS is still good. Okay. So the first thing we're going to talk about, I guess, and what we'll always start with at the beginning of every stream is the tape. Okay. So let's get to that. Smooth. Oh no, that's not it. That's it. The tape. So yeah, markets have been choppy. As you can see, the fear and greed index is at 27, meaning that, fear is starting to pick up again. Obviously, because of the CPI print tomorrow, everyone's a bit worried about where price is going to go. When you look at actual prices, not that it's struggling or anything, it pretty much hasn't moved. It's just been like sideways and down. We're talking about the majors here, or sideways. Yeah, sideways and down. It looks really bad there, but yeah, pretty much nothing's happened today. Yeah, the market's just yet to decide on which direction it's going to go. It's looking like down, more than likely. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, what do you think is going to happen in terms of the market? Do you think, or in terms of the stream? So like, do you think price will be above or below 63K by the time I stop streaming? It depends on how long the stream actually goes on for. I'm going to try not drag it out. I believe that time is valuable, so I don't want to have you guys sitting here for 2-3 hours listening to me ramble about nothing. But yeah, just to say that, there's a big CPI print tomorrow. There's a load of other things going on that could perhaps affect price in one way or another. So, best to just hold, I guess. And yeah, so far, 211 million has been liquidated. 151 million of that is in longs over the past 24 hours. So yeah, the 5 days of fear and greed, the fear and greed index basically hasn't moved really. It's just boredom. It's just like they're just boring us to sleep in it. Yeah, moving on. So the big viral story currently going on in crypto Twitter is about the plumber theory. So a young man who's done very well for himself, named Threadguy, has basically come out and said that the people who were involved in crypto in 2017 were basically trading against plumbers, the more successful people who done well in the crypto markets back in the day. 2017 was a different time. It's like a completely different product. Yeah, and I will admit, like, completely different participants were competing for monetary gain in 2017. Okay. I'm not gonna lie. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna play the video for you guys, and then we can talk about it. Okay. Let's just make sure I've got it all set up properly. Properties. I don't want to muck you guys around. I think it's this one. Okay. I'll do that. So here he is. Let me just there's no rush. So yeah, just give me a sec, guys. Apologies. Right. Make sure it's good. Yeah. There we go. You guys actually hear it? You can't, can you? Okay, let me see what I can do. Let's try this one.
Up in this way.
There you go. Yeah. Okay, let's listen. The volume might be a bit too low. Let me turn up the volume on it so you can actually get a clear view. Now, bear in mind, I'm a solo presenter here, so you can actually get a clear view. This is why. Now, bear in mind, I'm a solo. Yeah, I'll just press play so you guys can.
They were trading against plumbers, bro. Bro, they were trading against alt season, fabled like alt season, bro, where every altcoin goes up 20x, and it just like has to happen this way. Bro, they were trading against plumbers. They were, and some of the best were the best. Don't get me wrong, but alt season, man. It's like that is a concept of the past. It doesn't exist. 2017 ICOs. It's, bro, it's like, wake up. sent it at 60%, and he's drilling on your head top, and every new narrative is controlled by Trent. It's like the game has evolved, okay? And the new game is not gonna happen on Twitter. I really believe this. I really believe this. The new cycle, if it happens, and I think it's going to happen, I'm starting to believe it's gonna happen. It's not gonna happen on Twitter, okay? Gone are the days of you have influence just because you've been here for 10 years and you're like a funny poster. They were trading against Plumbers, bro.
So yeah, that's the opinion of this young man here. Who, you know, in a sense, he was right. You know, like the only people that were involved in crypto back in the day, where, yeah, you know, anyone who was curious, anyone who maybe, you know, read The Sovereign Individual back in the day and believed in like sovereign money, you know, separating money from the state. You know, the whole glorious message that was put out from that book, where, you know, people would be able to just travel anywhere in the world and be able to, you know, escape the shackles of the taxman, perhaps. Maybe that was the intention when crypto was originally invented, was to, yeah, actually separate money from state. And it looks like we failed. Now, there was a point where he does say that, you know, wake up, Unk, every new narrative is controlled. So, you know, that just goes to show you that, yeah, crypto's failed in many ways. And I wouldn't say that it failed the OGs. I feel like it's failed the youth. Now, the youth seem to think that, you know, crypto is like owning 60% of the supply, and, you know, dumping on everyone's heads. And that's his words, not mine. I believe it was Senate owns 60%. His words, not mine. Okay, so if you're getting into a coin and one individual or a group of individuals own 60% of the supply, back in the day, back in my day, back in when crypto was actually crypto, that would be seen as a scam. Okay, you would. It's sort of like with these young people now, or with the new participants that are coming into crypto and into meme coins and all the rest of it. They seem to believe that this is the way things are supposed to go, and it's never supposed to be that way. Obviously, everything starts off centralized, right? So if a new coin does drop, someone manages to snipe a massive amount of the supply, they have like a responsibility to the rest of the community, if you want to call it that, to not, like, you know, dump on everyone, or find a way to facilitate the project actually growing. Now, meme coins aren't actually projects, they're like collectibles. So like, yeah, it's just basically like what the way I see it as an OG, as someone who's been around for a long time and seen all of it. They've got like this totally different view of like how things should go. I don't want to argue with the guy. I don't want to say anything. He probably won't even watch this video. But the point is that what the current participants, the youth that are coming into crypto are seeing now, what they believe crypto is not what crypto is supposed to be. So yeah, in a sense, crypto has failed. Even up to the point of BTC being, you know, gathered up by bigger players like, you know, Michael Saylor. The government taking custody of it was the big dream, where it was going to be introduced into the financial system, and basically become a black hole for all government debt and everything else. So yeah, it's just like gone completely the other way now. The fact that he actually says, like, you know, his words, you know, Centered owns 60% of the supply and he's dumping on you guys' heads because you don't understand the game, is complete bullshit. And I just don't understand how he feels like what he's saying is the right thing. At some point, he's going to grow up and he's going to realize that basically he was a scammer. And anyone who's doing this is a scammer too. Because at the end of the day, the only people who are going to benefit from it are the people who are doing the scamming, owning 60% of the supply. It's a bit of it's a difficult one, isn't it? Because you want, like, originally for me anyway, like, you wanted crypto to work out. And yeah, it just hasn't gone the way that I thought it would go. And I believe a lot of people thought it would go from back in the day. And it's a shame that there's no respect as well. Like, there are people out there like myself who actually went out of the way to find crypto and, like, you know, actually use it. Like, they weren't on Ether Delta. They weren't, like, you know, trying to figure out how to use a wallet. Like, you know, all of the things that are currently built now, that make it like a lot easier for people to use crypto or to get involved in crypto, was because of OGs. Like, if we didn't take our money when we were grafting away in our shit jobs, and put it into crypto, then none of this would have happened. And quite frankly, a lot of the institutions that were involved back then, you know, like the bigger ones like Consensus, for instance, and even Coinbase, they haven't really paid homage to the people who took the risk, which is like, shame on them. Like, that's the only thing I would really say kind of disgusts me, is the fact that, if I hadn't have taken my few $100s, my few $1,000s, and put it into ETH at $8 and, just left it, or tried to figure out what I'm supposed to do with this thing, then, none of this would have happened. And that goes for a lot of people out there who perhaps maybe they didn't make it, wait, let me see. Maybe they didn't make it. Maybe they didn't become millionaires, maybe they didn't like, rug anyone or do anything like that. But, we did take the risk, and we did go out of our way to understand it. And we did facilitate you guys actually having the ability to do what you do now. It's just a shame that it's gone to the point where, it's just greed. It's just greed. And in saying that, maybe he's right. Maybe the plumbers aren't here anymore. So like, if the plumbers aren't here anymore, who are you trading against, mate? Like, are you trading against yourselves? Is it like, with the advent of social media, not even the advent, but like with the, with what happened with social media, where it blew up during COVID, people gathered massive followings of people, like of individuals, people, they built their own brands or whatever it was. There were reasons why people followed other people. So like, if you've got 150,000 followers, for instance, or you accumulated those over the course of the last couple of years, during COVID or whatever, basically what you're doing is you're basically using them to make money. And it's not in a way where you're actually even providing anything. You're scamming them. So you're saying to yourself, okay, I am now Threadguy. I am a brand, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop a coin. I'm going to own 60% of it. The people who are following you, maybe they're not as informed, or maybe they don't follow your content now, or maybe it's just normalized to the point where like, oh, it's okay for him to own 60%. But eventually you're going to dump on those people, your own followers, the people who believe in your brand, who started following you years ago. And that's the way crypto's gone. It's just like one of those things where it's just disgusting, in it. So like, were we any good? I don't think we were like traders. Obviously there were those who like came from the trading markets eventually, and they were on BitMEX, man. BitMEX was brutal. Okay, I'm telling you, I had the app. BitMEX was absolutely brutal, with 40% drawdowns in Bitcoin and ETH, and like, madness happening with like, what's his name? Oh, I can't remember his name. I keep thinking Brian Armstrong. I don't know, but it's not Brian Armstrong. It's the black guy. Anyway, you know who he was, the CEO of BitMEX. Saying, oh yeah, you know what? Dump, like liquidate all these people. I need a new Ferrari. This is his famous line. So like, they actually had access to who was doing trades and whatnot, because it was supposed to be a decentralized exchange, I guess. To an extent, but it was actually really centralized, and they had their own trading desk within their own firm. Apparently, I can't prove it. It was allegedly, they could see everyone's trades, so they could just liquidate you at will, and they would, so he could get his new Ferrari or whatever it is. So yeah, we went for a lot, man. We went for a lot, and for it to turn out to be like this is kind of just like the most disappointing thing. That's why sometimes I'm just like so disillusioned with this space. Like, even in terms of like this new FOMO app, they're asking you to log in with your email address, and that's like the most centralized thing ever. It's just like, yeah, it's just, yeah. And they're trying to paint it, like these characters, they're trying to paint it that it's cool to trade publicly. It's really not. Like, trading is supposed to be like, an individual sport, where, you go up against everybody. Obviously there are bigger incumbents who control the market. Yeah, it's just gone away. It's just like, you weren't there for DYDX, isn't it? When DYDX was out, it was like the most enjoyable thing, because it was one of the first DEXs, and yeah, it was just like, oh my god, a decentralized exchange, how come no one's using this? And that was years ago. It's like people have just discovered Fire now, but DYDX was where I first discovered, like, oh my god, I don't even have to trade on Binance or like any of these other centralized institutions. I don't have to KYC, AML. I can just like put money in this address, and I can go leverage long or short. And, obviously it didn't work out for DYDX for whatever reason, but it was like, I'm telling you, the best decentralized exchange you could ever imagine. And the airdrop was fantastic. I got 2 airdrops from that, 6 figures on each. It was amazing. So it worked out quite well for me there. But yeah, DEXs are like nothing new. But these new meme coin launchpads, man, like, it's just, yeah, none of it makes any sense. I saw a post from Clemente. If you don't know who that is, basically he does a lot of like, I don't know, viral, jokey, sort of like clownish behavior-ish type content about crypto, and he's saying he hasn't made money in 2 months. But then, you know, when you look on the timeline on X, it seems like everyone's making millions of dollars. You know, people are dropping NFT collections, for instance, right now. And those, like, for instance, somebody dropped an NFT, Cole Ethereum, his name is, dropped an NFT collection, and he made $1.4 million because everyone just minted out the supply, you know? So there are, and he's an OG too. So, like, you know, there are things happening in this market that, yeah, just don't make sense to me. Just don't make sense to me. But yeah, shout out to Threadguy for calling us unks and saying that we were no good at trading. That's fine. But we were revolutionists. Okay, we were the ones who took the risks. We were the ones who, like, you know, bridged our money over to ETH and tried to trade on Ether Delta. Yeah, we were the ones who, like, you know, were trying to, like, buy crypto keys or wherever it was when the chain was bought, or when the Chinese were, like, you know, spamming the Ethereum network. We were the guys that had our money at risk. Okay, so you can, like, you know, scam people on meme coins. And I wish you would just get over yourselves, young people, and show some respect, because at the end of the day, none of this would be possible without the OGs. Okay, and that's the only thing I'm going to say on it. It's quite disgusting, isn't it? And, you know, to another thing is just, like, you know, showing the stats. Maybe he's right. You know, maybe the plumbers have left. Let me do that. See, I'm trying to time this all properly. Yeah, the plumbers have left. Like, you know, I've got an article here. I've got a lot of tabs, so, like, you know, it's going to take a second to load. Obviously, I'm sure we've got multiple platforms as well. Yeah, eToro reports second quarter crypto loss, even as total profit beats estimates. Okay, so the trading platform gross crypto revenue fell to 1.35 billion in the second quarter. We also agreed to buy US stock brokerage TradeZero for 230 mil. So eToro's crypto trading was 7.2 million in the red in the second quarter of 2026, a decline of nearly 120%. So eToro obviously is where the plebs go to trade crypto. From 37 million it made a year earlier, according to blah blah. So yeah, basically it's saying that crypto trades are down like 73% on year. The desk lost like $7.2 million, and the average trade is $182. Yeah, so like people who, like, you know, the plumbers who've got their eToro accounts are basically, you know, trading with $182 in and out, buying various crypto assets via eToro. There's an article there, it's linked in the description. If you want to read it, you can read it. But the plumbers are gone, so I hope you're happy with that, because now you're trading against, you know, real traders. And that's not to say that, you know, the eToro participant or the person who's registered with eToro is the same as someone who's on FOMO. FOMO is like, I don't know, it's for his class, isn't it? It's for his class of crypto participant, the 20 to 25-year-old, maybe 30-year-old, who thinks they can trade these things. But in reality, it's a rigged game. Everything is a rigged game. But for it to be so blatant and for people to come out and brag about it, to say that, you know, oh, my mate owns 60% of this coin, and, you know, once price goes up, he's going to dump on your head. It's disgusting. Like, you know, and immature. And, you know, at some point, he's going to get slapped on the back of his head by someone who has a lot of capital. It will happen. I've seen like characters like this come and go. And, you know, you might call it survivorship bias, because I've been here for like over 8-9 years now. I would say 9 years. What is it? 2026, 9 years. I got in at 2017, 2016. Yeah, 9 years, and I've survived. You know, I've been here consistently. Although I get ignored, and, you know, I'm not the biggest name out there, I've always been around, and I've seen it all happen. You know, I can see history repeating itself. And characters like this, yeah, maybe, you know, their wallets get rinsed or whatever happens, and maybe they're fine financially. Like, you know, they've got their money in their regular accounts, whatever. So they're good. And I'm not wishing any ill will towards this young man, but at the same time, it still feels like, yeah. Man, it's just like embarrassing, isn't it? So yeah, average crypto trade is now 182 according to eToro. So who are you trading against, bro? Like, who are you actually trading against? Have you asked yourself that question? And if it's with your mates and all of that, yeah. Or maybe the funds that, you know, that were going to eToro are actually going to these FOMO apps, and people are losing money on meme coins now because the volumes are skyrocketing, isn't it? He's also said that the alpha's gone from Twitter as well, or X. We'll call it X. See, that's how old school I am. So gone are the days you have influence for being a funny poster. And, you know, I guess maybe he's right. And to be honest, like the content has been very stale. Like previous bull markets, you could have a laugh. It would allow you to like sort of get through things. You could just like joke around or whatever. Yeah, he's like, you know, he's a streamer saying he's won, talking his book. You know what I mean? Surviving 4 drawdowns, like for me personally, like surviving like 4 drawdowns, 4 bear markets, and still being here, being able to talk about crypto, not in the most educated way, but to be able to talk about it and still be interested in it, still be curious, is a skill. So we'll see who lasts the longest in it, because I'm not going anywhere. I'll always have an opinion about things. I'll always be on chain, perhaps not playing the same game he is, but I will be doing something interesting. Because at the end of the day, I don't want to say it sounds corny, but I do love crypto. Like, you know what I mean? I do love it. Like, you know, it's changed my life in so many ways. I've been able to see things I never thought I'd be able to see, and I've been able to do things I never thought I'd be able to do. My family's straight. We're all good over here. Us OGs, like the ones who are still around anyway. We're okay, bro. Like, and you can check on chain, like under my name. Yeah, you know, there's only a couple $100 here and there, but like in real life, you know, like pound for pound, dollar for dollar, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's just funny that, you know, they seem to think that that they've revolutionized finance and, you know, meme coins are the way forward, when in reality it's just a massive scam. Yeah, I don't even know why this has come up. I mean, I know why it's come up. It's because it's got 617,000 views, and everyone has an opinion on it, innit? Do you know what I mean? But yeah, like I said, these guys aren't the risk takers, okay? These guys that are currently here at the moment, they're the manipulators, they're the scammers. I don't care if you get sponsored by Polymarket, Phantom, and whatever. Yeah, you guys are coming across as scammers, bro. Like, it's not. That's how it sounds. It sounds like scams. And what do you think is going to happen with people like, you know, you're not going to garner the trust of like real institutions or like even real retail participation until it stops. So like, you know, the money's just going, it's like a hot ball of money just going from your friends' hands to your hands. Oh, there's this new meme coin coming out. Like even today, like, you know, X announced that they've got like their AI bot. And there's a picture of it, and they're like, yeah, you know, use it for all this cool stuff, you know, ask it to do this or that. And immediately, you know, like on FOMO, there's like 4 different versions of this same, you know, picture with the same name, and the prices are bouncing all over the place. Like everyone's just looking to scam. That's all it is. You know, the farming scam is done. So the new scam, I believe, is meme coins. And like I said, and I'll repeat it, you're the one saying that your mate's got 60% of the supply of a token. That is a scam, bro. Like, and you still don't get, you've normalized it. Okay, so like in regards to like us OGs not having any influence, that's fine. It's okay. You know, there are opportunities on chain all the time. You know, things are being built, you know, like for the curious and interested who like actually read documentation, check things on chain, and do things that way. So you play your game and we'll play ours. But don't talk down on OGs, because I've already stated, and I'll state it again, we're the ones who took the risks and facilitated you being here. Okay, so you need to chill out, bro. Honestly, like, chill out. Seriously, there's not like anything I could do to you. Like, you know, I'm not threatening you. I'm just saying, like, you sound dumb right now. Okay. Stonkbrokers. Let me see if I can get that up. We're gonna move on from that. Although he's viral, isn't it? Like, it's fine. He could be viral. Like, I mean, I think I don't know if he's trolling. That's the worst thing. It's like maybe he's trolling, and he's just like doing it for like just to get the clicks, because 617,000 views is like, you know, a nice paycheck from X eventually if it ever comes. The stockbrokers basically messed up. They were supposed to launch today. I'm not saying they messed up, but they're doing something weird. Let me see if I can bring. I should have put that tab on, which is kind of annoying because I was trying to prep today. Yeah. As you can see here, you know, where it says coming soon, I done a recording on Stonkbrokers yesterday. I'm basically trying to break down the best I could what it's all about. And it seems like, yeah, it was supposed to release like today. You know, it was saying like 24 hours, but now they've sort of said coming soon, and the signal is scrambled. So it just constantly changes. If you look where my mouse is right now, it's saying coming soon. And yeah, it's like mixing up the day, so no one knows when it's actually going to launch, which I think is just to avoid people sniping whatever they're going to launch. But apparently there's like 4 different tokens coming out on their launchpad. The names and the contracts have been verified by a fellow on X called Goon. He's someone I follow. He does good deep research, and quite frankly, he deserves a bigger rep. Maybe because he's not from the US, and you know, X is a US based thing. he's not really getting the clout he deserves, but he does really good research. So perhaps maybe check him out for alpha. I'm telling you, he's got the alpha. So yeah, follow Crypto Goon on X if you can. I would put it out, but I don't want to type in Goon because, you know, the kids have turned Goon into something else that I don't want to get into. But yeah, so the launcher is supposed to be live today at like 1 a.m. in my time, and you know, an hour's gone by and it's still not up. The page still says coming soon, and the signal is scrambled, as you can see here, as I've said before, with the fake countdown. So the real target, I guess, is hard coded for what's the date today? It was supposed to be 8 p.m. EDT, whatever the hell that means. Yeah, that's it. That's all I'm gonna say about that. So Stonkbroker, yeah, we're just waiting. I've got a feeling it's going to launch as soon as I go to bed, so I might have to stay up all night. Who knows? Do you know what I mean? So so once it launches, so like, sorry, I sort of messed up here for the chat question, but like the launcher is under an hour. Do you think it's a pump or sell the news for the Stonk token? So currently the Stonk token is looking like it's ripping. It's just relentless, you know. It's one of those ones where it's just like, yeah, it's just going to keep going. Although this does look a bit like toppy here. It's currently sitting at like 80 or 54 million market cap with 84 million FDV. So yeah, none of that matters really. There's plenty of liquidity for people to get in and out. So like price won't fluctuate that much because there's enough liquidity for large participants to get out. I'm not saying like, you know, anyone could just dump $1 million tokens, $1 million worth of a token immediately. But at some point, yeah, people are going to start taking profits on this because, you know, massive profits to be made on this thing. Yeah, so there's that too. Block Scout still hasn't confirmed or the contract audit, so we're still waiting for smart contract audits to come through to verify that everything is okay. There's no admin keys, like, you know, that could be hijacked or any sort of other dodginess within the smart contract for this platform. Once I said yesterday that, you know, Robinhood has no affiliation or partnership with this product. So yeah, anything could happen here. So, you know, play with it at your own risk. It's completely up to you. But yeah, stockbrokers, isn't it? Let's see what else is going on. So that's still not flagged. I think did I do that? Yeah. So like, yeah, the old time is random. I have the code. Yeah. So the code that was actually something else. That was the tape. So I've gone backwards now. Just give me a sec, guys. You know, I'm trying to be professional here, but it's a struggle for real, okay? The launcher, the fake countdown, we've already talked about that. The numbers, token ripped again. Yeah, so like the token is up, okay? So the token, is that today? Yeah, it kind of ripped. You know, it went up like, 2%? It was up 10% at one point. But the actual NFT has sort of just stagnated at the current price. Originally, it was at like 12.75, I believe, yesterday. So is it up slightly? Yeah, so it's, you know, it's up slightly, but like people are buying it yet. So maybe they're just waiting for whatever reason. Maybe for the actual launch to happen. You know, the fact that they changed the time, sort of like, I'm not sure. Like people like to know what's going on in it. Like anything in life, like you want things to be predictable, and for them to just like switch the signal and scramble it and like, you know, make it like a joke, coming soon. We don't know when it's actually coming. That makes me kind of nervous. But yeah, we're going to keep an eye on it, and I'll continue to update you guys on a daily basis. And also, you know, being curious, I probably will, like, you know, dabble a little bit and see what it's saying. But yeah, stockbrokers is definitely something to keep an eye on. But at the same time, like I said, no audits have been confirmed as far as I know. And yeah, we're just waiting to see what's going on with that. Moving on. Let's see. Let me have a sip of water. See, I don't want to talk too quickly, but I don't want to waste your time either. Right, next story. No. Yeah, smart contract still not flagged. Any questions on that? No scrolling. Last 4 characters. So like, yeah, I don't know if you guys can see. I'm going to drag it up just so you guys can see it. Or maybe I won't bother, but like, yeah, yeah. I won't bother. Yesterday I showed the actual smart contract. It was the same test. What are the first 4 digits of the real smart contract? The fake one is still out there. It's still not flagged. So there's still a danger that if you were to try and mint one of these NFTs, that you could be on the wrong site and then you could lose all your money. So just be vigilant if you do want to participate in this ecosystem or this new product, that you're on the right website. My advice, go to X, type in stockbrokers, you know, try and find a legitimate, you know, Twitter page or X page, and take it from there. Okay. let's see. So Bitcoin is AI money. So a miner, basically called Keel, shut every US rig it owns and sold like 1,085 BTC. Let me see if I can bring up that story. Just talk. It's this one, isn't it? Yeah. So they sold all their BTC, and they're basically moving. They're using their hashing power or their data centers to basically farm AI, or like to provide, data, energy, whatever it is they use for AI. And they're saying that there's a lot more money in it. So Keel decommissioned all of its US Bitcoin mining operations as it prepares the sites for artificial intelligence and high performance computing data centers. The company also sold off more Bitcoin as it continues to reduce its BTC position. So like, it's more profitable for a lot of these data centers to basically get into AI. They're going to see better returns. And plus, it's I don't know if it's an indictment of like Bitcoin's failure to actually go up in price. I believe it is, but this is like par for the course in a bear market. A lot of these, miners, these mining centers, all these, I don't know what they're called now. Yeah, all these like hashing miners or whatever they're called. I know the word, but I just can't get it out. Yeah, but they're all the ones that aren't profitable. Basically, tend to shut down or get sold off to someone who just like envelops them into their own sort of company. So yeah, this is just normal. It's normal for them to do it, but the difference this cycle is that they have the ability to not just sell it off, but they can pivot into AI and provide energy for these data centers, or turn themselves into data centers and make a profit that way. So at some point, if the price of Bitcoin eventually goes up, there's nothing stopping them from pivoting unless they have a contract with like a company like Anthropic. So like speaking of Anthropic, Riot basically leased itself to Anthropic for $9.1 billion over a 20-year period. So it could go up to 16.1 billion. And that's like 191 megawatt. Morgan Stanley wrote a 573 million loan to the same Riot, and the stock price of Riot basically went up 25%. A Bitcoin miner that sold its Bitcoin to become an AI landlord. So basically, yeah, a lot of these miners are pivoting to AI. And it's interesting because I have a post on my X from months ago where I was like, I wonder if I can find it. Let me see if I can find it, just to like slow me down for a second. 1 second. I'll see how long ago it was. Let me see if I can search. I'll just put in Bitcoin. Maybe it'll come up. The search function is so rubbish here, but Bitcoin. It's for clout. Yeah, of course. It's so rubbish. Latest. No. Let's put Bitcoin maybe. This gives me a chance for a breather, guys. Sorry. Top. Oh, you said nothing about Bitcoin. Here we go. Relegate Bitcoin. Oh, this is from way back in the day. We regulate, make Bitcoin not wild, not wilder. We'll tame it into regular type instrument with rules. Let's see, miner. Do one more search, guys. Sorry, apologies, but yeah, I deserve to take a break. I think I'm giving you pretty decent news today. And you probably tuned out here if you didn't make it through the first 41 seconds. Okay, yeah. So it's not working, but yeah, I sort of like thought to myself, yeah, these people have got like all this energy going through to secure Bitcoin, the network. When in reality, they could easily pivot to like securing data centers or like becoming a data center. At some point, I'll post it for clout, innit? 26 views, not bad. Okay, that's decent. Nice, guys. All right. Anyway, moving on. So we were on Riot, Keel. What's the next story? Riot, lease, blah blah. The DAT wreckage. Have I got a link for that? 21 Capital. Is this the CEO that died? 21 Capital records like a $1.2 billion loss. This is not the link for it. I've got too much going on, guys. Maybe we'll just move on for that. Yeah. So like 21 Capital, whatever, they're a hedge fund, and they lost $1.27 billion in the first half of the year. Trades below the value of its own Bitcoin. Counter Wales added like 46,420 BTC on August. So we'll just see if I can just keep on staying consistent with this because it's going quite well at the moment. Yeah, so Riot leased around Anthropic. We talked about that. What's the question behind it? Is Riot still a crypto stock or an AI stock? So it's publicly traded. Price went up because it pivoted to AI. Makes sense. Bitcoin is a dated instrument, and it's crypto gold, isn't it? Basically. The data wreckage 21 trades below the value of its Bitcoin. It owns more. What's the next treasury company to blow up? So yeah, is that CPI tomorrow? Have I got any information on that? CPI, nope, nope, nope. CFTC, crypto hackers, New York. See, I sort of lost my way here. I thought I had all my tabs in order, but obviously, exit scam. Yeah, okay, we'll just move on from that. But yeah, CPI tomorrow. We all know that, you know, based on price. Based on price, come on, guys. Yeah, based on price, what do you think? So, will Bitcoin hold above 60,000? I'm not too sure. Type in the chat, you know, what you think. But looking at this chart, that's a daily. It's looking like it wants down. I reckon it's going to be like a big sell-off, but then there's going to be a massive accumulation quite quickly. Whatever happens in the immediate after the announcement of the CPI, if it's a sell-off, you're going to want to buy that. If it pumps up, then you're going to want to sell. You always do the opposite 5 minutes after whatever price action happens. It seems when it comes to, like, you know, these type of things like CPI or, you know, rate cuts or whatever it is, or rate increases. I haven't seen a rate cut in 5 years. It's ridiculous. What's the next story? CPI tomorrow, so like 1:30 my time anyway. So the headline expected 3.4%. Apple also raised hardware prices by 50 to 30% in its core goods, which is crazy. But yeah, what do you think? Hot or cold? So yeah, and also, like, you know, we've got the rate hikes coming up. What do you guys think? Is it going to be a hike, or are they just going to stay neutral? I think they're going to stay neutral. I don't think we'll see a rate hike until the end of the year. It doesn't really concern me, although it does, because my government or my bank, my central bank, seems to follow along whatever the US does, because the US is the global currency. So, like, yeah, you know, if they decide, yeah, we're going to cut rates, then all of a sudden, you know, the UK, well, I didn't say UK, the government, or the central bank where I am, sort of follows along. So it's all one big game, isn't it? Pump Fund is winning. Can I get the Pump Fund stats? Here we go. So Pump Fund is winning so far in the last 30 days. They've made 35 million, basically $36 million over 30 days versus Hyperliquid's 32 million. This is the first time, I believe, that they have outpaced Hyperliquid in terms of price. I mean, in terms of, like, winning, in terms of monetary gain, in terms of fees and profits, in terms of profits. There you go. That's the right word. In terms of profits. But what does that mean for perps? So, you know, like, it seems like people have gone off perps completely. Maybe that's just, like, because of the way the market is going, in terms of, like, it's just sideways with, like, 5% moves here and there. You might have caught the Pump Fund trade, which was, like, going up 10-12% every day. But yeah, this just not, it's tough to trade this market right now, because I would say there's very little liquidity. I have zero evidence of that other than the price action. But prices aren't flying up or flying down. There's no catalyst to make prices do that either, since the Clarity Act is, like, you know, basically on the back burner, maybe in the fire now, because of reasons, you know, like, because the Democrats and Republicans can't agree on what the right direction is for, you know, legislation and whatnot. So yeah, best to be careful. Like I said, in terms of, like, trading perps in a sideways market, because you will get torn to shreds, basically. You will end up poor. Okay, so Pump Fund fees top 10 million as revenue overtakes Hyperliquid, which is crazy. So Pump Fund generated $10 million in protocol fees during the week of August 3rd to 9th, marking the first time in its weekly total crossed 10 million under its current reporting series. The Solana-based token platform launched said fees increased 12% from the previous week as trading activity recovered across its launchpad, PumpSwap exchange, and terminal trading product. Okay, so, like, you know, so we're saying that there's a lot of competition for Pump Fund. You know, like, there's a lot of speculation in terms of, like, FOMO, poons or pons or whatever you want to call it. You've got, like, you know, Uniswap dropping their pools or whatever. So they've got competition, but yet they're still making more money than all of those, maybe even combined. And they're also outstripping the top decentralized exchange perp decks. The first perp decks, or the most exclusive perp decks, the most popular perp decks. So yeah, you know, Pump Fund are doing fine. Where the money's coming from and where it's going, God knows, because they said that they're doing 0 trading fees on their app. So yeah, it's just interesting to see. There was like a guy who was interviewed from Pump Fund who was saying that 50% of the rev goes to burning back the fees and 50% goes to like R&D, research and development, to improve the platform. But yeah, they're in profit, they're making money. People are losing money on memes. I'm one of them. I'm still down on my meme position. I don't even want to update you guys, but like, yeah, it's not great. Is it bullish though? Is it bullish that people are like flocking to memes, or is it like a bad sign because people are so desperate they're putting their last $182, sorry, eToro, their last $182 into like the latest meme coin, like that bot one that I was talking about earlier? Could be that. Let's see. So there's unlocks happening as well. Pump unlocks I think tomorrow. Is it tomorrow? Yeah, like so 18.9 million, $19 million worth of Pump Fund token will be unlocked tomorrow. Will it go up? Will that cause the price to actually go up or go down? The last unlock that happened in July, the price didn't do anything, and that people saw that as bullish because it meant that people who had vested positions waiting for their tokens to come, basically were waiting for a better price to sell. Price has gone up now, so maybe it's a situation where the people who got the July unlocks decide to sell, and the people who received the the people who receive their tokens, who are going to receive their tokens tomorrow, are basically going to have to hold and wait for a better price to exit, or it just completely dumps. Who knows? Because you've got the CPI plus an unlock. It's looking a bit bleak, especially if it's a bad print. Yeah, next story. Wait, let me see if there's a question for that. I don't know why I keep talking about Yeezy, but like, yeah, it dumps 22%. But yeah. So yeah, Zach XBT, if you don't know who he is, he's like an on-chain sleuth. He sold a lot of crimes. Yeah, very good at what he does. Here's the story. He basically tied a US resident to a 5 million plus of support impersonation trust. So Zach XBT links US resident to alleged 5 million in crypto support impersonation thefts. The investigation connects Milanovic to an earlier case involving John Gatti Lick or whatever, and notes a Connecticut search and seizure warrant screenshot call recordings of taunting and reported gambling activity. So apparently she was bragging about it. So on-chain investigator Zach XBT published a detailed thread on X on Monday. Go away. How the fuck do I get rid of that? Thank you. Thread on X alleging that Tiffany Milanovic, a US-based individual, has been involved as a caller in a series of hardware wallet and centralized exchange support impersonation operations that resulted in at least 5 million in cryptocurrency losses for victims. Where is the punctuation in this paragraph? I mean, there's none. I couldn't take a breath. It's insane. Meet Tiffany Milanovic, a US-based threat actor tied to at least 5 million in thefts from hardware wallets and centralized exchange support impersonation scams. She's recorded herself taunting victims on calls after draining their funds. Tiffany openly flaunts luxury purchases. Can I play this? Should I play it? I think you guys are going to want to see this, isn't it? Let me see if I can do that for you in a smooth way, and it gives me a chance to have a breather in it. There we go. Let's see. Gives me a chance to have a breather. Sip some water. Where's it taking me? Oh, it's hilarious. 15-second clip.
I got the devil on my phone, keep telling me how to get rich. Niggas are bums, niggas disconnected a ledger in less than 30 minutes. You niggas are poor. Fucking speedrun I see? Like, niggas are broke. Like, no joke. I got the devil on my...
Oh, that voice is horrible. Do you hear it? It's disgusting. It's like, people are horrible, man. Horrible people out in the world. I'm telling you, man, it's disgusting. I don't even know if you heard that. I just want to make sure that you did, okay? Because it was gross. 1 second. Because it was gross. 1 second.
Phone keep telling me how to get rich. Niggas are bums, niggas disconnected a ledger in less than 30 minutes. You niggas are poor.
1 second.
Phone keep telling me how to get rich. Niggas are bums, niggas disconnected a ledger in less than 30 minutes. You niggas are poor.
Yeah, works. It works.
Phone
Okay.
keep telling me how to get rich.
Okay, it works. Oh no, technical difficulties, guys. 1 sec. Yeah. So yeah, anyway, I think she's going to prison. Tiffany operates as a caller, the person who phones victims posing as exchange or wallet support. I mean, who's falling for this? You know, in big 2026, if anyone calls me or emails me or says anything about crypto, I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about, bro? What are you talking about? And talks them into handing over access to their funds. In the clip below, you can hear what one of the calls sounds like. Oh, guys, we got to hear it. We have to hear it. We do. We do. So this is like the type of entertainment we wanted. I want to hear how dumb the person sounds. Let's see. So you guys don't fall for it. It's like education, right? Let's go.
It says transfer between purchase crypto from crypto.com on chain, and it's got these little, it says buy. You have to check these two things, I think. And say connect wallet.
Yep, you're gonna click on connect wallet.
Yeah.
And then what does it say once you click on that?
It says enter crypto.com account email. So I just put my email address here.
Yep, you're gonna go ahead and type in the email address that is connected onto crypto.com.
Okay. Just send connection email. It says we're receiving email instructions on how to proceed with connection.
Yep, so just go ahead and check your email now. You're doing such a really good job.
No, because you got a good. I got somebody really good to help me.
I swear to God, this nigga wants to fuck me. What the fuck, nigga? Alright, so once you go ahead and open up your email address, did you just receive the crypto.com email?
Yeah, I did.
Alrighty, now what does it say within that email?
Hold on. You're so sexy. You sound so hot.
Hello?
What are you with? Are you blonde hair and blue eyes?
You said what, sir? I apologize.
Are you
couldn't
blonde
hear
hair?
you.
Are you blonde? Are you blonde hair and blue eyes?
Well,
What's
I
your-
actually have green eyes, but I actually am platinum blonde.
Really?
Yeah.
You're so hot.
Thank you. So once you do open up that crypto.com email, what does it say?
It says connect.
Oh bad, oh bad. Oh bad, oh bad, oh bad. That guy was down bad. That's crazy. I can't believe I'm actually hearing this. I have to laugh, sorry. Oh, you blonde. Oh my god. How? Oh my god. Wow. That's the type of art. You know what? He was an OG. He was from 2017. Definitely. Was nerdy guys never talked to a woman in his life. That is insane. So in June 20, oh wait, let me pause that. Yeah, let me pause that. In June 2026, a victim lost 1.2 million in Bitcoin and ETH. Tiffany and her group drained the victim's Trezor wallet after a spoofed Bitcoin IRA email sent under the alias Patricia Massey. Oh my god. Anyway, yeah, I'll link it. Well, maybe shortly after the theft, Tiffany began flexing it in Telegram groups. Another threat actor operating under the alias Bleed and Harm appears to have provided the phishing panel infrastructure. The bulk of the funds have not moved and remain dormant, so that money's gone. So that's either in the government's hands, or you know the keys have been burned and you're never seeing that money again. So yeah, here's the actual snapshot. Before you get banned, here it is. Blah blah. 7 figs. And then yeah, that's how much money that guy or that individual actually lost. 6.9 BTC. So it's not in responsible hands, a lot of this Bitcoin, right? In October 2025, a victim lost 500k in Bitcoin after Tiffany and her group drained their Coinbase account. She was recorded complaining about her cut for this theft and posted a screenshot of the withdrawal herself. The theft address. Oh my god. So should we keep going? Wait. Let's keep going. Because this is juice. Like, wait. Here we go.
Don't do any. They said don't do any weird shit, or else you know what's gonna happen.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know, but I mean, the BTC, right? The BTC, the last transaction you sent out was basically 100%.
Yeah,
Or
yeah,
no, we
it
said
was.
it left a couple of. It said it left a couple of few $100s, so maybe that's what it is. I don't know.
Yeah, it could be. He might have clicked like all on something.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see though. Everyone is getting their cut. Everyone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like some.
With my life, sitting here fucking cashing a fucking petty playo, 400 fucking 50k, nigga. What is that gonna do with my life? Nothing. Petty play. Fucking bum. Niggas charity money.
Oh god, she's awful. Awful. Wow. In February 2026, Tiffany went ban for ban with another threat actor on Discord, called by flexing balances to prove who was holding more. She allegedly moved 100k in an Exodus wallet. The address now holds 631,000 DAI, which is like a stable coin, funded via multiple instant exchanges from Monero. Okay, so yeah, there's the wallet there. You want to hear it? I guess so. We'll just continue with the story. How long is this going for? Fuck, you know. See, like, he's got receipts, man. He's got receipts. Yeah, and so forth. I don't want to keep you guys here all day, but like, yeah, check out the thread from Zach XBT. He does great work. Moving on. Okay, we can't spend any more time on this. Let's see. So let's see. The next one is, oh my god, that's crazy. Wait, let me make sure. I need to compose myself. Yeah, so films herself caught by her own vanity. Does naming scammers actually work? Okay, you can ask that question. I can ask you that question. Do you think naming scammers actually works? I don't know. I don't know if it does. You could call that a scam. Like, if you were to lose money on in crypto and you go onto X and you start saying this guy's a scammer, no one cares, man. No one cares. It's your own dumb fault, isn't it? If you have self custody of your funds, you're responsible for it. And a lot of people don't really have the ability to, maintain their own funds for some strange reason. I don't know. It's your money, man. Do you know what I mean? Right. Next story is the CFTC. So this is like regulator versus state. So what's happened here is that Kalshi is basically being sued by the New York governor's office or something. We'll skip that one. So the CFTC just invoked emergency powers to defend Kalshi from New York. So basically what the New York are trying to do, the commodities or the CFTC basically had to step in to stop the New York governors or whatever from banning Kalshi from performing in its state, because they're saying that it is an illegal gambling operation. Okay. So yeah, that they basically lose 8 million quarter. Okay, maybe that's what I was supposed to be doing, but yeah. So yeah, the complaint alleges the defendants engaged in Ponzi scheme by fraudulently soliciting and accepting funds from the public for crypto asset trading, including Bitcoin and Ether. Contrary to their representations, the defendants misappropriated all customer funds, including by paying fictitious profits to existing customers and funding Delgado's lavish lifestyle. Defendants also falsely guaranteed the return of principal investments and all profits, issued false account statements reflecting non-existent profits. In total, approximately 1,600 customers contributed at least 397 million to the defendants' fraud. Okay. We will continue to aggressively police fraud, abuse, and manipulation in crypto asset markets to ensure that bad actors are punished, while developing clear rules of the road so that all good actors have the opportunity to build on American soil. Today's actions further underscores our commitment to rooting out misconduct. The division's enforcement, blah, blah, blah. So this is something else, actually. CFTC charges Goliath Ventures Inc. and CEO with $400 million fraud scheme. So that was this story here. Sorry, guys. I'm still learning. So he already pleaded guilty in June. So 1,600 people, 397 million lost. How does this keep on working? So yeah, some venture capitalist firm or whatever basically made up the figures and got people to invest in their fund. And it turns out that the guy was just living the life in it. He's probably flying all over the world, banging strippers and doing Coca-Cola. Yeah. So yeah, interesting. But yeah, looks like he's going to prison. Not sure what his conviction is. In June 2026, in connection with the criminal case brought by the U.S. Attorney's Office of the Middle, blah, 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 Delgado pleaded guilty to federal criminal charges for his role in the fraud, blah, blah. It doesn't say what he got sentenced to, but it looks like, yeah, he's going to prison for a very long time for fraud. Yeah, next story. What's this one? Crypto exchange Coinbase loses 8 million in coordinated 2 blockchain attack. On-chain forensics tie a single actor to an $8 million coordinated drain across Tron and Ethereum, with most funds routed through fixed float, and the attack vector still unknown. So like, yeah, even Coinbase is not immune to getting, rinsed by someone. Is that on my thing? I need to make sure I've done that correctly. Maybe I missed it. There's so much stuff going on. Yeah, Russia Cup. Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, so that's another story that probably I'll cover tomorrow. But yeah, it looks like Coinbase crypto exchange Coinbase lost more than 8 million in a coordinated attack across Tron and Ethereum. The attacker began with a 5 USDT transaction before draining 8 Tron wallets of 6.4 million of the dollar pegged stablecoin in about an hour. On Ethereum, 3 wallets were simultaneously emptied of 1.89 million USDT and 77 ETH, which was swapped to ETH via 1inch through a wallet created the same day. On-chain records showed the 2 chains were linked through cross-chain swapper bridges, whose Ethereum payout contract sent funds directly into the Ethereum swap wallet, connecting what appeared to be separate operations to a single incident. I can link that story as well. The incident adds to an increasing cost a year for the industry, which had already seen roughly 972 million, close to $1 billion stolen across the sector through late July. So that's all in 1 month. Almost $1 billion in fraud has been done in 1 month. And Coinbase has become a victim of that as well, which is, an indictment of like how bad things are in terms of like, OPSEC, operational security, for like one of the largest crypto firms in the US. It's quite gross and quite worrying. Get a ledger, people. But even then, as seen with that story with that girl, it's just like, yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, this is the story I wanted to talk about. So New York sues Kalshi for 36 billion. CFTC defends company with restraining order. So yeah, let's see if I can find that one. Make it a state. I think I had it there. This one. So yeah, what happened here? New York's governor and attorney general have filed a lawsuit against Kalshi seeking 36 billion in damages. When was this story from? Does it have a date? 31st of July. So it's old news. People probably know that Kalshi could pay 100k for every sports market. Okay, so yeah, the CFTC basically saying that they want them to stop. Kalshi users could be refunded. But it's still going. Kalshi's still running, and it's still going from strength to strength. What's this story? Federal judge rejects CFTC bid. When was that? August 4th. A US federal judge has denied the CFTC's emergency request for temporary restraining order to halt New York State's enforcement action against prediction market Kalshi. A US federal judge has denied the CFTC's request to temporarily block New York's enforcement action against the prediction market operator Kalshi. So yeah, the government has basically stepped in to stop the state of New York. I believe New York is a state. I don't know. I'm not from there, so from basically banning it and demanding funds to the wholesome sum of 36 billion. It's kind of insane. Yeah, moving on. No one cares about prediction markets right now. It is what it is. Don't care about Russia cutting XRP from its yeah, no one cares. Crypto.com, I think this is a bigger story. Crypto.com, it seems like they're in trouble. They've got their Crow token, and I've never understood why they had it. So Trump Media's 6.4 billion crypto venture cancelled amid escalating Trump ethics concerns. So they don't want their president, the Senate don't want their president involved in crypto. It's been clear as day that he's been having his fun and his way with it. He's been winning more and more in crypto. He's made billions of dollars from his meme coin launch to his NFT collection. He's done so well for himself, hasn't he? He should be proud. So Trump Media Technology and Crypto.com scrap plans for a $6.42 billion asset treasury venture. The move unwinds one of the largest crypto projects connected to President Trump. A scrutiny of his family's digital asset businesses intensifies in Washington. This is probably the reason why we haven't had the Clarity Act, because if certain rules are in place, it would allow the Trump family. I'm not saying the president, the Trump family, to have their way with crypto as they've been doing pre-regulation. The cancellation ends the project companies announced less than a year ago. At the height of the corporate crypto treasury boom, the planned funding package included $1 billion worth of Crow and $200 million in cash, $222 million from a mandatory warrant exercise, and $5 billion equity line of credit from the Yorkville affiliate. The company said the proposed vehicle's share scale will let it control historically large pool of tokens relative to Crow's market capitalization. However, the company's reversed course, citing market conditions and shifting business and stakeholder priorities. It might be a good sign for the Clarity Act. Who knows? So Trump's crypto fortune is complicating Washington's regulatory push. Do we care? No. If it's the Clarity Act or it's the SEC or the CFTC, at some point in the US, they will have regulation which will allow US to participate in the markets, even though I'm pretty sure a lot of Americans are actually participating in the crypto markets. Okay. yeah, we're running over an hour, so I'm just trying to get through these last bits. Now, because that's happened, there could be something not too wholesome happening at crypto.com. Let's see, cashback cut and 6 billion deal dead in the water. So yeah, basically, is crypto.com in trouble? The Crow token, you know, you can see it was up like 0.11%. Crypto.com has terminated plans for a multi-billion-dollar blah blah. We've done that already. So the CEO of crypto.com says what would have become the world's largest Crow holder. Yeah, they're basically in trouble. Slashes cardholder rewards for Crow. So even like people who are staking Crow and getting rewards from their card, their crypto.com card. So if you had Crow, you would stake it and you would have the card you would spend and you would get rewards in this Crow token, but they've slashed that reward. So the yield has gone down massively. And a lot of people are basically saying like, is it over for crypto.com? Is it over for the sponsor of the UFC? Do you know what I mean? It's an American brand. I'm sure it will bounce back, but yeah, it's just like not looking good. So even their chief legal officer has resigned or resigned in April. It's old news. I'll come with better stories tomorrow, I swear. Bitmart, it's the last bit, I think. Just trying to get through it now. Bitmart founder says no exit scam. On-chain shows 300k of Bitcoin left. So Bitmart founder denies exit scam as withdrawals stall. So people are trying to withdraw their money from Bitmart. Customers are complaining that withdrawal requests are still pending weeks after the crypto exchange's self-described orderly wind down on July 26th. Bitmart promised withdrawals services will remain available. 2 weeks later, a customer who requested a withdrawal claims it still has his millions. Where's our money? So yeah, this is another one of those people who like trust centralized institutions with custody of their funds. Will they ever learn? And it seems like the money's gone. You know, you never had it, not your keys, not your coins. Please, guys, you know, the OG plumber traders out here are fully aware of what you're supposed to do with your crypto, and that is to store it in your own wallet, hold your own keys. If you're not doing that, you're at risk of losing all your money. If your centralized institution who you're storing your money with actually goes down, the first thing they'll do is liquidate your assets to save themselves. So yeah, there's a lot going on. Bitmart has an unfortunate history of deflecting withdrawal complaints. It blamed circulating claims that Bitmart cannot withdraw on risk controls that intercepted a malicious volume farming group running 239 linked accounts. I mean, they were happy to have those 239 linked accounts when the money was flowing. 2 days before the wind down announcement, Bitmart fired its executive Nathan Chow, who said, "I was not involved in the decision announced today, not consulted on it, and not informed of it." So yeah, he got an email or something. On-chain data does Bitmart no favors. Holdings by crypto wallets attributed to Bitmart by Arkham Intelligence from about 102 million on July 6th to 69 million by July 27th, while BMX, the exchange's own token, crashed 81% in a week. As of Sunday evening, Arkham's tracker estimated the exchange held 59 million. Unfortunately, Bitmart's largest tracked wallet per Arkham is 22,500,000 of a little known token called 10 best coins. So yeah, they just like, you know, spread it out over made up tokens. In contrast, it tracked BTT totals as a mere 300,000. So the real value is in Bitcoin and Ethereum and USDC, and it's just under a million, I think, if I do my maths. Just under a million. Yeah. DeFi Llama, which also monitors holdings of various entities, currently counts about 2.6 million worth of assets on the exchange, far below Arkham's estimates. So yeah. Withdrawal deadline is 26th of August. Get your money out. So like basically they've just paused withdrawals, and they're saying if you don't withdraw by the 26th of August, we don't know what's going to happen. So yeah, good luck trying to get your money out. And if they do go into insolvency, there's going to be like a massive legal battle, so you might not get your money for years. You know, FTX proves that. Mt. Gox, which is, you know, over 10 years just started like issuing out the BTC, and people try to figure out where the money goes and whatnot. You know, and even if that's the case, right? So say for instance you had 10 BTC in there, and you put that money in, or even at current market valuation, that's about 600k in it, I would say. If the price is to slide 50%, that's the value you could get. or if the price goes up, they might say, oh, well, it was paused at this price on the 26th of August, so that's the amount you're getting, and we'll keep the rest. There's so many ways that this could go for people who are trying to withdraw their funds. So yeah. Let's see. A $2 billion investor is dead. That's old news as well. Some guy, I think he was in Paraguay, and he fell off a building. But yeah, finishing up, ETF flows as of 11th of August. It's not looking good, bruv. It's not looking good. They did, like, you know, a lot of these hedge funds, BlackRock and whatnot, did start accumulating Bitcoin last week. But yeah, we'll see what happens. Okay, I'm pretty worn out now, guys. I hope you found that informative. Apologies if I rushed through the end. Tomorrow will be a bit more thorough. I'll come with more news and stories. Hopefully Stonk actually launches. As of now, it still hasn't launched, so we're just waiting, along with the, you know, scrambled signal sign and whatever. If you did find this informative, if you feel like there's any way I could improve, once again, I apologize for rushing through, but I don't want to waste your time. Yeah, by all means, you know, pass through, say hey, make a comment, whatever it is. But yeah, enjoy your Wednesday, and hopefully I'll have some more news. Well, I will have some more news for you tomorrow. And yeah, last thing I'm going to do before we go is, if you made it this far, the usual thing that I always tend to do, the mouth is not moving, which is frustrating. My Fable has reset, so like, that's pretty cool. Is I'm going to drop you guys some free coins, free imaginary coins for sticking around this long. Here is your reward. Spend it wisely. And enjoy. Okay? Yeah. Shout out